What's up, everybody? We are back. It is time for the weekend review. It is Sunday. The market opens in about 6 hours, and so it's time to figure out what levels we're going to play and what is happening. And this thing is just on an absolute tear. The S&P is just marching forward. For those of you who are real indices traders here, I put out the SPX video yesterday. I suggest you check it out as it will correlate to these ES futures videos now. First and foremost, one of the things I wanted to talk about was a post that I put out, and if you didn't catch it, I suggest you read it. It's a big deal. This is the 100-day cross over the 200-day cross. This has only happened 15 times in the past 45 years. This generally symbolizes a 1-year gain of at least 15% and a 2-year gain of at least 30%. This is a symbol for more upside, guys. Just kind of a big deal here. So we are still looking up, and we're not looking up based on this moving average here. We're looking up based on these charts. But this was just another indicator for me that this thing is just on its way up. As you can see here, we got really close to the 50-day moving average. It looks like it touched it on the weekly, even though it didn't happen, but it's close enough. As we're continuing to ride this 50-day and push up, and then this is the 20-day. You can see we're just kind of cruising here. So with that being said, this thing is just on a moon mission, and so I wanted to start by showing you guys that and emphasizing this point one more time, and just making sure that if you don't understand this, please check out the post. I can actually link to it in this video below. Okay, so the first thing that I like to do is, all of you know, I like to start out with the weekly TPO. And this helps me understand where we're at in value and what's been going on from a big picture view, and it kind of puts it in a nice, tight, beautiful package here. And so as you can see, we have just been percolating sideways for the past month. They are just building a massive amount of value in here as they find and accept this range. And this thing is going to break out in one direction or the other, and my guess is we are going up. Okay, so they continue to poke a new all-time high, come down, go up, poke a new all-time high, come down, poke a new all-time high. And again, we've sold off Friday a little bit, but we've got a lot of support underneath this, and so it would not surprise me to come down, play some support, more than likely generally in this area here, which is this 64.20 range, which is also the previous weekly value area low. As you can see, we had a lot of activity in this range between 30 and 40, and I like this spot a lot. When we get into the charts, we're going to talk about it even more, okay? So please keep this in mind. Please keep in mind that the value area low is located at 64.20, and then let's get right into it. Let's get into the daily time frame. So most of you know I'm a cash session trader, and that is what I look at is the RTH daily and weekly charts. Those are what is important to me. That's when Wall Street's out. That's when big money is playing, and so that's when I want to be involved. You can omit this ETH chart on the daily time for now. I use this to understand where we're at for the overnight moves and what's been tested, and when I come into the market, I like to kind of see where we're at in relationship. So we're going to omit this right now. And just take that off the map, and we're going to focus on the other two on the left-hand side. Let me just go ahead and wipe those out. There you go. All right, so first and foremost, what we need to pay attention to is what we just looked at, which was the weekly. You can see right here that this guy is a monster. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks of just sitting in this range. We look like we are primed to break out here. So one of the levels that I absolutely want you guys to focus on, and we've talked about this for, 6 weeks now, is 64.25. This is a big weekly. It's very important for us to be above or below this. And it truly is kind of our line in the sand from a higher time frame perspective. If they can't hold this level, and it's actually just a little bit lower, and we'll talk about this when we get over here, this is the other main level. This is our big weekly leg up. This is 62.68. This is our weekly leg to the all-time high, and it's super duper important. So this is our main level of support if we can't essentially hold these 64.20 areas, okay? So let's go ahead and just talk about what the charts are telling us here. We had a nice little pop up from the lows. We made an all-time high, right? And they came down, they wicked the lows, they closed, big solid gain. The next week they made an all-time high. And then this week, what do? We pulled back a little bit into the 50, came up, made another new all-time high, and they had a nice solid close above the rest of these. This thing looks like we're primed to go higher. We have no reason to believe that it is not going to happen, and so that's what we're going to focus on for now. So getting into the daily time frame, let me just blow this up for us here. This is really what it's all about here, guys. we have some overhead resistance, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and just pull this like this so we can focus on this area here. We'll talk about this lower spot here in a moment. Right now for the overhead resistance, we have our 8/13 or August 13th previous leg down at 64.8950. This is also located with another daily level at 64.9675. This to me is one fat zone because this is the highest open and this is the biggest closed here, so the highest close. And so as we continue to move down here, we want basically to get above this for our sustained move higher, and lower would obviously keep suppression down a little bit here, okay? So we're gonna use this as our daily quote unquote pivot, and this is just a fat area for us to be above or below because it was a previous leg down. Now above the 64.96, this could take us up to our next level of resistance, which is our leg down from August 28th. It is located at 65.1675. This is very much an untested level. And then finally, the highest resistance on the daily time frame, which is 65.3350. This is the daily leg from the all-time high that we sold off on Friday. Now, I want to point out one thing. All these levels could get a reaction, okay? Those two from the higher, and even the third one right here at 64.9675. All these levels can get a reaction, and they can send us higher. These could provide a decent short. However, this market is not a short. We have not lost on the daily time frame. We have not lost support on the daily time frame, the weekly time frame, and we haven't lost support on the 4-hour time frame. We are still moving up. A 100-point drop is not having us lose support on any important time frame. We are still cruising higher. So I use these as references for you guys, as even though they might provide some reactions here, in my opinion, these are targets. Now, how you trade this is up to you. You know, I can't tell you what to do, but in my opinion, these are targets for longs, okay? So on Friday, we came down and we played the little sub leg here because this leg goes like this. Okay, that's our all-time high leg. We had a sub leg at 64.5075. We played it almost perfectly, and we got a nice little bounce here after they got below Thursday's low, and they squeezed up to our 64.90 spot, okay? So the area that I'm really focusing on right now, and I have two in particular, okay? We have a daily level at 64.4675. I like this spot a lot. For those of you guys who follow along during the week, you know I was eyeing this spot on Wednesday to get played for Thursday. They did not play it. So it's still there, 64.4675. We also have a significant 4-hour at 64.40. I like this spot a lot, and we'll talk about that when we get down to the 4-hour chart. Sorry about that. Dog's always giving me an ulcer here. So anyways, where were we? All right, so we have this daily level at 64.4675. What I'd like to see happen is either the 46.40 or this 46.75 play. Price comes down, we hold this, we get back above 50. That would be our trigger for our squeeze up. This could potentially take us all the way back up into these resistance zones at 64.8950, or even all the way up to 65.3350, and even potentially produce all-time highs. Now, do I know that? There's no way to know. So we have to take profits a little level here, guys, okay? Now, I also like the fact that getting above the 64.5075 would also give us a sweep of Friday's low and a reclaim of that. That to me is an awesome failed breakdown coming off of a level that we were eyeing anyway. So yeah, I like it a lot. But just in case that doesn't happen, all right? So if that doesn't happen, we come down, we know that 31.75 has been super important. And more importantly, the weekly that we've talked about over and over again, 64.25. This thing's been a monster, okay? So this is gonna be our big high time frame line in the sand. If you don't have this on your chart already, certainly mark it on there. This is going to be really important for us to get above or below, okay? And I would watch for price to react from it when we got down here, but again, I wouldn't be buying this level on first touch. The way that I would be looking to play this, and for those of you who've been following along, you guys know that I really like this 64.13 daily leg here. This is our previous leg to the all-time high. Then we came down, we saved the low, we made another leg up. Now, the thing is we have technically the leg up on our newest leg higher is at 63.98.25. My only concern with this is we didn't close above our previous leg down. So for me, this is not the choice level. Okay, it doesn't mean it won't play. It looks kind of decent actually, and we'll talk about it when we get to the 4-hour time frame. But the spot that I like is the 64.13.25. For those of you guys who watched the SPX video, you'll notice that this lower level here wasn't on there on SPX, but it sure had the 64.13, which is actually 6,400 on SPX. It looks so good. And so with that being said, you know, I'm all over that actually, and I'll just show you here just to kind of give you a quick view of what that looks like. Here's SPX. This is it. Boom, that's the leg up. There's the 64.13, or better known as 6,400, because that was one leg up. This is the next leg up, and that's, you know, this is the juicy spot. So with that being said, now I've shown you kind of, you know, a little context here. You know, that's why I said it doesn't mean that this won't play. We're not trading SPX, we're trading SPES. But if they play this, I would look for this to get back above 13, okay, before probably initiating this trade. I'd be a little sketched out down here. I really want this 13 to be our main level. And the way that we need to play this, guys, 13, I think 13 can play on first touch, but getting back above 25 is the huge acceptance. Huge. Huge, huge, huge. And when I show you on the 4-hour why, you'll see why. This is big. If we get back above 25 and especially 31, there's no reason that we can't squeeze to all-time highs. Okay, it's just how it works. It's that simple. You obviously got to take profits on the way up, but there's no reason why that can't happen. Okay, so with that being said, now let's go ahead and talk about this down here. I zoomed out. This is the big weekly that I showed you at 62.68. It's also a daily, and this is our true leg to the all-time high. Okay, so if they come down here, I don't really have any support on the daily time frame. If they close the daily at below 64.13 and ultimately 63.98, more than likely we will traverse down to the 62.68 and play this leg. Okay, if this plays and holds, our first target is this 13.25 area. Okay, and we, you know, actually honestly, the first target is 63.98.25. And then we'd have to take profits amongst all these levels and really start to look for acceptance above the 25, because it's our big time frame pivot. You guys put that level on your chart. It's important. Okay, so that's how it looks on the daily time frame. All right, so now let's go ahead and get into the 4-hour now and sum this up. So here we are on the daily time. Here we are on the 4-hour time frame. This thing is looking still bullish as hell too. So we've got this big leg up down here. And then again, here is a 4-hour at 64.12. It lines up perfectly with our 13. I like this. This area got a nice smack over here. So we know that there's, it played from the bottom up. Now we're looking for it to play from the top down. Okay. This is also the 25 area, guys, right here. And I'll throw the other stuff on so you can see. But if you recall, I said, man, this thing has played multiple times. Well, look, 1, 2, 3 times, and then they held and took us all the way up. Okay. That was Wednesday, I believe. So we know this is a big level. Okay, so here we have the 64.12, and then this down here is that spot I told you on the daily that just met. It's 63.98, and then on the 4-hour it's 63.92. And I do think this level can play. I do, but I think you're going to have a big problem getting over 12 or 13, and we really want to see acceptance back above that before we get too excited about a long. Okay, but the area that I really want to talk about that is important is this 64.45.75 to 64.40 area. This is the spot that you guys know I was expecting for this to get played on Wednesday or Thursday, I can't recall, and they just ended up holding our another area and launched. And so this area is very much untested. There's no reason to not like this area anymore. 64.46, I believe, was the daily. It's also a 4-hour, but the main spot of interest, if they get down in here from the 4-hour perspective, and again, mind you, there is that daily at 46, but from a 4-hour perspective, what I really like is the 40. If this 40 holds, there's no reason why we can't come all the way back up to at least the mid 60s and potentially push all the way higher. This is the 4-hour leg right here. As long as they stay above this and we have a close, like as long as they don't close below this, they have not lost on the 4-hour time frame. So they can come all the way down here and play this, and until they close below 64.40, we're holding the 4 hour. This thing is just cruising up. And so, with that being said, I'm looking to play the leg end. Love to play the leg end. And if it plays, technically we could come all the way back up to 65.25.50 or 65.35.75. You just never know. Again, that's why we take levels of our profits as we go. But I do like this area, and that shows you also what's happening in the lower part of this leg. I'm going to go ahead and throw these other levels on here just so you can see what's happening. So here's the 25, played from the low, 3 times from the high. Big level for us to keep track of. It's been important for a long time. And then we obviously have the 64.31. Okay, so again, if we come down here and play the 12, you want to see acceptance above 25 and 31, and then obviously we need to get back above 46. We just play these levels to level, guys, and really 46.40. So we're just playing them level to level. Okay, you can see on the 4 hour time frame also that this is that daily here, and it kind of lines up with this 4 hour. But again, you want to get above this, okay, and then get above this, above this. But I do really like this area here. If we pull down into here and start to get some acceptance, I think this can really go up pretty high. So you'll see that we do have some singles in the profile all the way up here around 65.25. There's also a 4 hour untested area located at 65.26.50, as well as our all-time high daily leg down is at 65.33.50. It's located with our big 4 hour up here at 65.35.75. So that sums it up for you guys. This is the big leg, guys. We're still in it. There's no reason to be bearish. Okay, pull back. Let's buy it. Let's get it. And kind of go from there. And then you know what happens if it all goes south underneath 64.12 or 13. And then essentially 98. We want to look out below. And then, again, the bull market's still not over. We're just looking for it to come down into our big high time frame support. So I hope that you guys can make the best of this, and I look forward to getting into the battle with you again next week. Have a fantastic weekend, and see you guys soon.